And we're black. Talking to Tyreak. Tell us where we can all find you and things.
Oh,
We'll do this later, but
I'm like on all of the sites, no, not all of them, not OnlyFans, but I'm like mostly on TikTok, at TyreakToldYou, and that might get banned. So you can also find me on Instagram, TyreakToldYou. What's the new app? Blue Sky, TyreakToldYou. Just search TyreakToldYou and I'm gonna come up.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyreak will tell you.
Yeah.
And
because I can tell y'all parents and tell y'all shit, so that's why I'm out here doing it.
Exactly. This is the work of the Lord, honestly.
Yeah.
You might be a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I do think I might be Jesus. But then I try to not get too deep into that because I'm 33 and, that's when Jesus was out of here. So,
So in the vein, okay, well, pause on this conversation. So in the vein of, misspeaking and misinformation, Tyreak, please tell me, I'd love to hear more on this theory.
Well, one, I'm not afraid to hang out with sex workers. I think they're awesome.
Of course, I love them.
Yeah, I just be giving people like good advice, like just regular common sense advice, Clean that fish before you serve it to like 12,000 people. Simple. Your water should be wine because you can't get drunk off of water. Water serves its purpose, but I don't want no water after a long day of work. Turn my water into wine. And, crosses are cute. Crucifixion, not so much, but I do like the design of a cross. It's the artistic part of me. And Jesus was also an artist. He appreciated the arts. That's why there's so many portraits of him.
Right?
Yeah.
Was he a carpenter?
I think his daddy was. Was he one too?
Or what? Maybe he was, because wasn't he like backpacking?
You know what he was? He might have been like just, because you know what? I have a theory. Religion is just like PR that went too far. So what I'm thinking is, it was like during the Roman Empire, there was just this guy in Palestine named Jesus Christ. He might have been into some drugs or something. He was just like roaming around, just talking to shit, and people believed him. He did not walk on water. Everybody was on the same drugs as him, and he walked on some rocks. It might have been some shallow rocks or something. They said he walked on water. Everybody believed it. Boom, there it goes.
Because when I went camping, we went kayaking, and there were definitely moments in the river where you could just get out.
Yeah.
But your feet, you were walking on the water.
Exactly.
The Christians are spawning a nuke right now. And they're spawning a nuke right now. We're just playing.
Yeah, and the Romans, they got tired of worshiping Zeus and all them other rapists. So they said, you know what, we got one God. We don't have to keep up with all these other people. This one isn't like coming down raping people. Let's just worship him and, call it a day.
That reminds me.
I know we talk about Christianity and critical of it, but I got to be honest. The Christians ate with the calendar. Like I love the Sunday through Sunday thing. I love the January through December. Because the Christians is what we have the calendar now. Like I love Thursday. You know what I mean? Like today is Thursday, Thanksgiving. I love a Thursday. It's the sexiest day of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We wouldn't have that in other times.
You're right. Because Thursday's like you start to decompress. You know what's coming. It's not quite there yet, but you know it's coming. So you start to relax a little bit.
Yeah. It's edging for the weekend. That's what Thursdays are.
You just like tickled the nerdy side of me. Because sometimes like I sit back and think like we have like this whole Gregorian calendar that basically the whole world follows. But there were like other time systems before the Europeans came. So imagine abandoning your time system and then like just adjusting to whatever this is. There was no Thursday in Japan before whoever showed up.
No, there was no Thursday.
Yeah.
You're right.
Niggas weren't complaining about Mondays. Why? Because there was no Monday.
Right. And then even the way like we break up the years BC and AD. What if I'm not a Christian?
Which they don't even have anymore.
I know. So then what is it?
So, fun fact. So when I was in the 7th grade, we had a history lesson on Judaism and the Holocaust and all that stuff, right? And so they had this teacher lady that we had come in. And you remember, like, in school, there was just random teachers who didn't really have classes, but they would just be around and stuff. So there was this one teacher that came in that looked exactly like B. Arthur, and she taught us everything. And she let us know that, like, in Judaism, how you're not supposed to write out God, you're supposed to write G-D, because that's out of respect. But she talked about the calendar, and she was explaining how they operate off the lunar calendar, so that it's at the time, what was it, sixth grade, seventh grade? That was what, in 1950 for me. So at the time, it was like year 5,700. You know what I mean? So it was just so interesting. Like, she was like 19, whatever the fuck. No, it is year 5,000 for me. I was like, that's crazy, bitch. You in the future? Because the fact that she didn't follow the BC or AD, because to them, Jesus was just a nigga that lived in Nazareth.
Hello.
Yeah, they were like, he was cool. We fucks with him, but like he's just not our prophet.
Yeah.
No, you're not
exactly.
wrong.
So that's why it was always interesting. I was like 5,000. You know.
I also want to take another episode too. I need us to really break down how in Greek mythology was the first really dysfunctional family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. We need to talk about that in depth.
It was the first house.
Hera was beefing with all the Zeus's outside kids. Like, girl, we mad at the man, not the kids.
Right, and fighting his other bitches, which is technically her sisters, which is also weird. It was a lot going on.
And then they were like, brothers didn't fuck with each other, and you know what I'm saying? So then they were trying to kill each other's kids and shit. Like, I think that's something that we really need to get into. We have another nigga on the list.